We are 4 weeks from the election, so it's time to talk about the 10 reasons Joe Biden will win the election. I will be simultaneously releasing this video at the same time as 10 reasons Trump will win the election, but without further ado, here we go. Number 10. Elderly support for Biden hovers around 54%. Typically, Democrats usually have a large advantage with the young vote. The young vote, younger than say 32, 29, or 32 years old, they almost always have a 2-to-1 margin. Luckily for Republicans, the young vote almost never turns out. Republicans almost always rely on the middle-aged to vote, and the elderly vote tends to lean Republican. Now, if this poll is correct, it is very hard to see how Donald Trump can win if 54% of the elderly vote is going Joe Biden. Number 9. Gains in suburbs, which is a typically Republican stronghold. Joe Biden has made serious inroads into the suburb vote. Now, there have been two ways that he has basically done this. He has expanded his lead with white women. He has also expanded his lead with college-educated voters, which predominantly live in suburbs. The suburb area, which is usually lean Republican, is now looking to favor Biden, according to a lot of polls. Number 8, historically high polls overall. As the race sits right now, Biden has a 9.2 lead in the Real Clear Politics average. Now, on election day, Donald Trump was only behind 3 percentage points from Hillary Clinton. And often he only trailed by as much as 6. So for Biden to be at 9.2% is historical. Now, there's one other thing I want to point out. Biden is polling around or above 50% in a lot of polls. Hillary Clinton almost never polled above 50%. I believe she only broke 50% twice in pre-election polling, meaning that her average got over 50%, but it was well before the election. It was about 3 months before the election. So the fact that Biden is consistently polling at about 50% is really good news, because even though the polls were wrong in 2016, what they had Hillary Clinton polled at is exactly what she got. So if Biden is really at 50%, this is going to be a good election for Biden. Number 7, the first debate was an unmitigated disaster for both, but mostly for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is significantly behind in the polls. It is imperative that the person who is behind in the polls have good debates. Now, the only good note is that back in 2012, Barack Obama had a very, very bad first debate. In fact, I believe Romney got a 3-point bounce, which disappeared because in the second debate, Obama trounced Romney pretty badly. Hopefully, Donald Trump can turn this around, because honestly, it was just a trouncing, and he needed to move the needle back into his direction. He needed stability. I don't know if he has it in him to do that, but nonetheless, that is what he needs to do, and that is what I believe he did not accomplish in the first debate. Therefore, this is good news for Biden. Number 6, public safety and law and order tend to favor Republicans, but not this time. Voters have shown with a slight margin that they trust Biden more to end the violence and end the riots more so than Trump. So this law and order message and the message of peace, it's not necessarily landing with voters for Donald Trump, and Joe Biden is winning in this crucial issue. Number 5, Biden is consistently outspending Trump and also outraising Trump. Joe Biden has consistently been raising a lot more money than Donald Trump. And although money didn't matter in 2016, it's hard to imagine that with how many commercials that Joe Biden is putting out and the general sentiment of the country, it's hard to imagine that this isn't making a huge impact and a huge effect on this election. Number 4, this is a historically high unemployment rate during an election. In the 2012 election, President Obama had a 7.2% unemployment rate. The reason that didn't affect him is because the voters did not actually blame him for the 7.2%. He inherited a bad economy. Currently, the unemployment rate is 7.8%. The question is, will the voters do the same thing for Donald Trump since this was a pandemic? It remains to be seen, simply because most voters feel like he mishandled the pandemic. Therefore, some may also carry that over to blaming him for the economic situation. So this is a historically high unemployment rate, and we'll see if Donald Trump can overcome it. But right now, it looks like this is completely favoring Biden. Number 3, Biden enjoys a lead on many key issues, most importantly, how to handle COVID-19, as well as these are historical wrong track numbers. When we look at things like climate change, abortion policies, healthcare, public health, in issues involving race and ethnicity, Biden enjoys a 12-point lead or above, all the way up to 31-point lead for climate change. When it comes to the wrong track number, if Donald Trump wins this election, it will be the first time a president has won with such historically bad right track, wrong track numbers. Number 2, several states would immediately make it impossible for Trump to win the Electoral College. All things being equal, if Biden can hang on to all the states that Hillary Clinton won, and, for example, win Florida, all he has to do is win something like Wisconsin, and the election is over. The other way he could do it is if he wins Texas somehow miraculously. But even if he loses Texas and loses Florida, Ohio is not looking good for President Trump. So if Trump loses Ohio, then it's presumable that Biden is also going to win places like Pennsylvania and Michigan. So if Donald Trump loses a place like Ohio, that would also probably spell doom for his campaign. So when you look at the whole entire night, if he loses Texas, which I don't think he's going to, but if Trump loses Texas, it's over. If Biden wins Florida, it's probably over. If Biden wins Ohio, it's probably over. So any one of those 3 states looks like it would automatically put the win in Biden's column. Not that this is much different from 2016. All Hillary had to do, according to most analysts, was win Florida, North Carolina, or Ohio. If she had done one of those things, she was supposed to win. I'm kind of projecting the same thing, but in this case, he's so far ahead in most other states. It really does look like if he picks up Ohio, he'll win, because he'll win the upper Midwest, or at least another couple states in the upper Midwest. If he wins Florida, it's probably over, because he's probably not going to carry Trump will not carry the upper Midwest if Florida goes for him, most likely. And then if he wins Texas, it's going to be a blowout. So just look for one of those 3 states. Any of those 3 states goes for Biden, it's probably going to be an early election night, and it's going to be over. Number 1, the sheer number of pathways that Biden has to win the Electoral College. I know it probably sounds like a broken record. 2016 was the same way. But Hillary Clinton only had a 3-point lead going into the election. Biden has a significantly higher lead. So let's just start throwing some states out here. Florida plus Arizona gets him there. Florida plus Wisconsin gets him there. Florida plus Michigan gets him there. Florida plus Georgia gets him there. Florida plus Ohio. And then let's just say he loses. Let's say Biden loses Florida. So then we've got Arizona plus Wisconsin plus Michigan gets him to 269. So then he would just need to pick up Nebraska second or Maine second, and that would get him to 270. Just picking up Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Nebraska second, Maine second is also 270. North Carolina, Iowa, and Nebraska second is also 270. In reality, the sheer number of ways that he can make 270, there's just many. Now, if Donald Trump picks off a state like Minnesota, that still doesn't necessarily mean Biden still has a huge advantage. And I don't see him picking off Minnesota. So once again, looking at the map, it's just hard to see how Donald Trump pulls off this victory. It's possible, but I doubt it. In the end, Biden has the support from the elderly. He's got gains in the suburbs. He's got historically high polls. Did okay in the first debate, comparatively speaking, to Donald Trump. He's got all the money behind him. There's high unemployment. Everybody believes we're on the wrong track. Most people blame Donald Trump for COVID, or at least the response for COVID. There are 3 states that if Biden wins, this election has to be over. And just the sheer number of different states or different pathways that he can choose to get there, it's hard to see how Donald Trump wins this election. Now, that being said, Donald Trump has surprised us all before, but we will see. So let me know in the comments section below if you agree or disagree. Who do you think is going to win this election? I appreciate you listening. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next video.